I just thought of a theory for Warhammer, if y'all are Warhammer fans. Alright? Because we know Rogel Dorn is going to be coming back. Um, and because only his hand was found, there is a theory that he was captured by Trazen the Infinite and is in his collection. So I have a theory because this makes sense. Because Rogel Dorn was sent to another dimension to where he was being psychically attacked by one of the chaos gods, I believe. I know he went to another dimension, and he was there for what seemed like millennia, and he grew facial hair and everything. Uh, but anywho, he broke out of that dimension because of the Emperor. He had the Emperor help him, give him the power to get out of that dimension. And Stace, I don't know what the proper name for what Trazen uses to capture them. I'm just gonna call them stasis cubes, um, because that's literally what they are. It's putting them in a stasis and caught in a moment of time. But here's the theory. All right, Rogel Dorn will escape if this is true. If this is true, to believe that Rogel Dorn is in Trazen's vault, Rogel Dorn escapes the stasis cube. Okay, because the Emperor wants him back into the fold of the universe because he is needed for what is to come. Because Perturabo is coming back and he's building the building a big fortress out of planets to go attack the Imperium, and they need their greatest guy who knows how to build a defense, Rogel Dorn, to be able to push Perturabo back. But in order to escape Trazen's vault, he's going to need help. And you know what Trazen does? He collects. There's Astartes. Pretty sure there's might be some Thunder Warriors in there, but there are Astartes, and then there's the Fulgrim clone that Fabius Bile made for Trazen. That contains an untainted part of Fulgrim's soul. Okay? Rogel Dorn will free up all the Astartes, and they're gonna go grab from the weapons vaults and grab the weapons that are there that are in the collections and everything, because Trazen collects. All right, he collects everything. It doesn't matter what it is. If it interests him and he wants it that bad, he will go get it. But anywho, back to the theory. They will take the untainted clone of Fulgrim, and the untainted clone feels bad for what the original did. All right. So technically, since Fulgrim is in the warp, part of his soul is when he was in pain after Ferrus Manus was decapitated, and part of his soul got leaked out into the warp, and then when Fabius Bile created the Fulgrim clone, the good part of his soul went into that clone, and that's why he feels guilty and everything, because the Primarch's soul is technically in the warp. So Fabius Bile stole the good out of his Primarch. All right. And I'm gonna keep on rolling. So they grab him. They successfully escape the the vault, Trajan's vault, and luckily Trajan's away somewhere else in the universe. But for those of you who don't know who Trajan is, he is a Necron, and Necrons are a race of beings that were very, very fragile, and then were worshipping the gods, and they asked the gods, "Hey, can you help us?" The gods said, "No." It was like a dragon god. I forget what the name is called of that dragon god, but a piece of it is buried in the Adeptus Mechanicus on Mars because the Emperor placed it there. Sitar, I can't even pronounce it, but I'm not going to butcher it. Anywho, all right, we're back. But anywho, they elected to ditch the flesh and become full Cybertronic, which pretty much makes them kind of immortal, kind of not, depending on who your leader is, because if you mess up so many times as a Necron, the leader will be like, you ain't coming back. This is permanent deletion. You're out of the collective. But, anywho, back to what I was saying. They grab Fulgrim, the clone Fulgrim, and they escape. They head back to the Imperium, and when they get back to the Imperium, because the ship is not, depending on what type of ship it is, it might be an old cruiser that freaking Trajan has in his collection, and so it will be Rogel Dorn telling them, "Hey, lower your defenses. This is Rogel Dorn coming in." Blah, 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 blah. They go, Rogel Dorn specifically asks to meet whoever's in charge. And then in comes Rabute Gilliman and Lionel Johnson coming in saying, "Where have you been?" Blah, 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 blah. And he is like, Rogel Dorn will go, and he's like, "Last thing I remember was getting attacked in the sewers, and then I come out into this vault, and guess what? I brought some company, some reinforcements." So it reinforces the entire legions and replenishes them from the map from a lot of losses. Okay, well, the Space Marines lose a lot of soldiers, and a lot of them don't have any of the experience, and so those older Marines will basically be fresh, battle tested, and raring to go. And they might go. Some of them might go through the Rubicon surgery to become Primaris Marines. But anywho, back to what I was saying. They showed them the Fulgrim clone, and they debate on whether to release him or something like that. And so basically they'll table it for now, and when Perturabo comes, they summon like pretty much like the Iron Hands. They'll bring in like the Iron Hands because they're good at smithing, and so Rogel Dorn would need good smithers, and the Salamanders don't have as many Astartes, but they still they're still going to bring those guys in, and of course the Ultramarines. That's just one theory, but hey, if you like this, I have more to this theory, so make sure to like it up and give it a follow. Peace.